Howdy, y'all. OJ Bird here. You know, I make silly videos, and I perform songs too. But for a serious moment, it's not always easy when you live life like some of y'all that know, and some of y'all may not know. But when you live with chronic depression and anxiety disorder, some days it's hard to get motivated. And when you have one of those days that are especially hard because it's an anniversary of a lost loved one or a dear friend that has passed away, as I say here today, I think of, several people I've lost. One just a year ago. I don't want to mention names, because I don't want anybody. I don't want to bring on the pain too much. Those who know who I'm talking about, I'm sure they'll feel it too. But I've lost so many family members in the last just year of my life alone. And as I'm getting older, and I realized that I was born with a very, very bad heart condition. I mean, like no one else in the world has a heart condition to the extent that I have. That doctors, they don't know what to say when talking to me. They don't know anything. They're lost. They've told my parents, and I've been there, time and time again, well, he's not going to make it to this benchmark. He's not going to make it to this or that age. And I've outlived all their predictions. But I've had family members, uncles, cousins, and friends that now, as I say here, I've outlived them. Not just by the fact that I'm still alive, I am older now than they were when they passed. And it really reminds me and puts it to perspective how precious life really is and how short it is. And I have those days, and today's one of them, where I've been sitting here thinking about making a video, but I didn't know if I could. I didn't know if I could push myself to make the video, because I want to make others happy and I want to make them laugh, but I want to, more than that, I want to connect with people. Old Jay Bird, is a nice persona, and I like talking like that because it does make me feel like, connected with some of my relatives that do have more of a southern accent. Probably not nearly as dramatic as I draw out this, but we like our washing in the zinc. Gotta eat some Joel bacon. Yeah. The stone quarry. My mama made her redneck bingo at one time, and we used all the words that our family likes to use that we laugh at because, grandma or grandpa and even some of my cousins still to this day have learned, picked up on those certain words, that mean a lot to our family. But, seriously, I don't always talk like that. Most of you that know me know I don't. But everybody needs to just stop every once in a while. And like I say so jokingly, take a look around. Take a look out that window. That window, 'cause that's my window right there. my winder. And, stop and realize that life is too short and too precious. And you never know when this life will be over for yourself or a loved one. So try to remember that, when you're so busy, caught up in your daily life and this hustle and bustle that we all go through, and just tell someone you love them. Whether it's a friend, a lover, family, but just tell someone you love them and that you appreciate them. And hopefully you'll get that love and appreciation back. And, thank God every day for what He does give you. No matter how bad you think your life is. And I mean this. I truly, truly do. And I have been as low can get. I've been laying in a hospital bed, when doctors weren't sure I was going to make it because of illnesses and sickness. And I've come back through it all to be able to say, hey, I'm still alive, so it could be worse. Or, hey, I got food in my stomach. It could be worse. People sleeping in tents on that cold, cold week. It seems like just a few days ago we had that day of negative weather. And, we had nice, warm homes and a nice, soft bed to sleep in. So no matter what you think or how you personally feel, that, life can't get any worse for me. It can. And I mean dramatically. In the snap of a hat and the twinkling of an eye, this world could come to an end. And do you want to sit around and dwell about how bad your life is, or are you going to try to move forward like I do with making these videos? It's my way of moving myself forward and keeping myself out of that trapped and stuck state of being where I feel like I'm alone. Because, I'm single, I'm alone, and some days I want to change that, and other days I'm comfortable. I feel happy and comfortable in my own skin, and I've always been the type of guy, when I was growing up or younger, I had to validate myself by being in a relationship. Life was just going to end if I wasn't in a relationship, and now it's not like that. I try to look at the brighter side of things because I've always been such a negative person. Poor me. And I still know there's a lot of people that still haven't grown out of that. Some people never will. They're always going to think badly about themselves. Or there's those that are just scared that they have the mentality that, it's all in my head and there's nothing I can do about it. But in some instances, trust me when I say this, tell your doctor how you're feeling. See if they'll refer you to someone. Because mental health makes a world of difference. When you can honestly, be honest with yourself and go to, your doctor or, admit that you are not the same mental mindset as you used to be, and that you have it harder and harder time trying to make yourself happy or make yourself feel better. Because sometimes, as in my situation, it's not just me, it runs through my family. I've had, many relatives that some have passed on now, but others that still live to this day struggling with chemical depression and bipolar and anxiety disorder. And some of them have them all piled into one, like me. But I know that, there are going to be days where you're just not feeling up to it. But if you feel like more days are bad than good, then, there is nothing wrong. It is no sign of weakness to say, hey, I need some help. Is there a medication that I can take that, will help me level out my baseline emotions? Because people don't realize that, you're never going to be happy 100% of the time. Moods are supposed to, fluctuate up and down. But if you're always way up here, and you used to be more here, or if you're all the way down here, medication should bring you to your baseline. And, where you can have somewhat control mentally of where your mind's at. You can recognize that, hey, this is how I should feel on a normal basis. Contentment. When you can be content waking up in the morning, or even somewhat happy, then you're in a good place. But if you just cannot drag yourself out of bed because you just feel like, your mind is just burying you in negative thoughts and negative, feelings are just overwhelming you all the time, and, and your environment's not bringing it on, because a lot of depression can be environmental. The people around you, the people who you keep around you. But when you're in a good place, you're safe, and you're healthy, you're being fed, clothed, you're not living in a house where there's a lot of fighting and arguing, and you still can't pull yourself up, talk to someone. Get that help that you need. And so many people, sad to say, will turn to drugs. And I've had my history of doing things I shouldn't. But that's a person I'm no longer today. That's a person I was and who I will never be again. But for those, if you can, please, and I can't stress this enough, get help. Because you never know when it could be too late. Sorry, I got my Pickle Rick messenger going off. I haven't quite learned how to mute the background noises when I'm on here. But just love yourself and be honest with yourself and talk to yourself. Do I have a problem in this life? Is it something that I can change environmentally? Is it something I need to change chemically because the balance of my brain chemistry is off and it's causing me to be sadder than I should be? And if you've been on a medication like I had been for like 10 years, be honest. When it's not working anymore, or at least you should be able to recognize, hold up, this, I'm not feeling like I did, just a year or two ago on a normal basis. I'm starting to feel like I'm struggling to be normal again, or I'm struggling with my mania. And have that honest heart-to-heart talk with someone and just try to be happy. Remember, that's all you want in this life, if anything else, is to be happy and have your needs met. I don't need no fancy car, no fancy house, no bling bling hanging off my neck. Eat lobster every night or steak. I just want to get by, have good company, good friends, and live my life as best as I can for as long as I'm here to live it. But most of all, I want y'all to love each other, love God, stay warm, and remember, old Jaybird's here, if you ever need me. I'm always just a click away, So, if you need to say something in the comments, go ahead. That's what they're there for. And if you're one of my many, many friends and family on Facebook, and you see this and you feel like you need somebody to talk to, well, I'm always here. I'm an advocate for talking, and I'm an advocate for, getting better and happy in your life. So y'all, stay good and look out your window. Sometimes just looking out the window can make your day a lot brighter. Alrighty, bye.